Welcome. Friar will just have a quick presentation about what the Beijing summit that's currently underway is all about. So Trump arrived a couple of days ago, the summit opened yesterday, and Xi invoked the Thucydides trap. I'm not sure how to say that. But that's from ancient Greece, Sparta and Athens. It means when the emerging power is considered a threat by the current power, which leads to war. And Xi is saying, let's not fall into that trap, let's work as partners. So we've got 5 parallel negotiations running simultaneously in Beijing. Tariffs, the Geneva 90-day pause is the baseline. London framework extends it but needs presidential sign-off. Rare earths, China's break glass lever, used twice, worked twice. Expect flow commitments as part of any deal. Nvidia H200s, approvals exist on paper but 0 chips have shipped. China held back deliberately, using access as a bargaining chip at this very summit. Taiwan, most dangerous agenda on the item. Trump's language, I'll have that discussion, has alarmed Taipei. Iran, US wants China to lean on Tehran. China already banked a goodwill concession in April. Further mediation will cost Washington something. Jensen Huang's last-minute inclusion tells you everything. Trump called him personally and picked him up in Alaska. 10 Chinese firms have US approval to buy the H200 chips, but not a single chip has shipped. Beijing told them to hold back, a strategic calculation to preserve this as a negotiating lever for this summit. Commerce Secretary, the lying, Epstein-loving Lutnick, confirmed at Senate. 0 sales, Huang had claimed otherwise in March. The contradiction is telling. Friar's read on it, China is not handling Jensen a done deal. Access will be released in tranches, conditional on US concessions, which are likely to be the Taiwan language Trump and his administration start to use, as in softened, and tariff reductions. So the Socks Bear thesis, any chip deal may produce a short-term sentiment pop. Trade it as if it fires. But the structural export control regime is intact. This is a tactical opening. Taiwan, the hidden price tag. This is the most dangerous topic in Beijing this week. China's position, Taiwan is Xi's stated top priority. He opened the summit saying it must be handled well or the US-China relationship reaches a dangerous place. Beijing wants the $14 billion arms package deal dead. Snuffed it. No more. Rhetorical softening from Trump, an implicit acknowledgement of a sphere of influence. That is China's influence over Taiwan to be accepted. US recent history, a record 11 billion arms sales was authorised in December 2025, but arms deliveries have since been stalled ahead of the summit. A signal to Beijing. Trump's language, President Xi would like us not to, and I'll have that discussion, has most alarmed Taipei. Analysts call any rhetorical softening, even ambiguous, the most destabilizing outcome. Friar's critical point, China is not getting Taiwan in these discussions. What Xi seeks is a freeze. In other words, time and space, and quietly degraded US credibility. That is worth more than any trade concession. Trading implication: any perceived US retreat on Taiwan adds geopolitical risk premium immediately. Thus, net bullish for gold and silver, in Friar's opinion. Okay, Friar's trading implications thoughts. Silver and gold. Silver is not a rare earth. It doesn't belong in any rare earth headwind sentence, on timing grounds or structural grounds. The 6-year supply deficit is geological and industrial. No deal signed with Beijing changes that. If anything, Taiwan ambiguity adds geopolitical risk premium immediately. Net bullish for these precious metals. Friar's happy to hold positions. The SOX bear position we've discussed. Any H2 announcement may pop Nvidia and SOX short term. That is sentiment noise. The structural export control regime is intact, as is the Hormuz Strait debacle thesis. Rare earths. Any release agreed this week is months from hitting physical markets. Same logic applies across all commodity positions. Summit outcomes are sentiment events, not supply events. There's a large time gap between signing paper and delivery of these minerals. USO, DBA and GLD. Watch Iran mediation outcomes carefully. A credible Hormuz resolution timeline is the one summit outcome with direct energy pricing implications. But China's mediation pledge will be conditional and slow-moving by design. Summary: this week's summit outcomes are sentiment events. Friar's positions are thesis-driven structural trades. The only outcome with immediate market impact is Taiwan language, and any softening there adds risk premium that benefits precious metals. Okay, 3 pillars summarise the framework for this summit. Pillar 1, summit outcomes are sentiment events. The pipeline from signatures to physical market impact is months at least. Do not trade the announcement, trade the structure. Pillar 2, silver is not a rare earth. The 6-year structural supply deficit is geological and industrial. Demand for silver is price inelastic. That point I cannot make more often. No trade deal signed in Beijing alters any of those drivers. Pillar 3, Taiwan language is a live variable. It is the only summit outcome capable of immediate market impact. A repricing of geopolitical risk premium that happens in real time. So watch every word. Or perhaps I should say, listen to every word. As Jesse Livermore said, when there is nothing to do, do nothing. Friar's thesis is intact. Hold positions. At this stage, next decision point for SLV is September 26. If silver remains below $85, we'd look at rolling. Good trading. Have a good day.